Welcome back, everyone. NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me today to this new episode of Music with Nick. Today we got something a bit different, and I can't wait. We got some pretty much, I think these are viral music videos, but they're special. They're not just like this is not for everyone, you know. So this is by Dave. Thank you so much, Dave, for sponsoring this video, and also the one we saw. Your Dan request from last month was super interesting. Aurora, she's just amazing, insanely talented, just very mystical, you know, creature, just wonderful. We're really blown away. So we're gonna see her today in this marathon as well. So Dave called this just like Nordic something, which is awesome. I love it. I love Nordic music. I love Nordic mythology, and like I've said before, I am, you know, from that region. You know, like I was born in Germany, but pretty much my mom was from like in the DNA, you know, in that DNA test that you can take. It was all over Sweden and Norway and Iceland, and I didn't know that, you know, and Italy. My dad, 100% Italian. So yeah, it's a nice mix. So, but yeah, so today is so Dave said this will be very tribal. 4 songs via video. Very little of this, if any, will be in English. And that's kind of cool because since I'm, you know, I speak German, and that's pretty much the Netflix. I was reading Netflix. That's pretty much my first language. That's the language I learned the first. It's not so because of that, there's a lot of words when we watch movies, like Swedish movies, Danish movies, and stuff like that. There's a lot of vocabulary that you do understand. It's like when you speak Italian, you understand a lot of Spanish or vice versa, or Portuguese and stuff like that. So yeah, so it says here, number 1, The Last Kingdom Netflix show. There's the Netflix theme by Eivor. We saw Eivor. That was amazing. Live at Hammersmith Apollo from January 2023. Can't wait for that. Then number 2, Gullspunnin, Spun in Gold by Eivor, live in Faroe Island TV 2021. This was part of a cancer fundraiser. Helvegen by Wardruna, live featuring Aurora from Bergen, Norway, August 2018. Nice. You see how I can pronounce all this stuff? The Helvegen. And then Anoana by Heilung. Heilung, that means Heilung, pretty much. That means healing, you know. Live at Hammersmith Apollo, you may be introduced to a throat singing here. This is the same show as first video. Eivor opened for Heilung for the show. For your information, Heilung's only US show this year is Red Rocks in April. Oh, okay, I guess we're going. From what I've read, almost everyone dresses up in Viking attire for the show. Wow. We'll draw from all over the country. Enjoy. Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate all this information, because, you know, just to have a little bit of info, you know, of what's going on. All right, so let's pull up the videos. I'm very intrigued here. Let's see. Maybe I'm gonna move a little bit here to this side. Oh, let's take the mic with us, and we got the video right here. All right. Okay, maybe make it a little bit bigger for you guys. There you go. And then maybe I can put myself into this corner, and now I see a full screen, and then you see at least, you know, a fourth. So that's awesome. All right. So here we go. put the volume up. And thank you, Dave. Let's go with Eivor. And if I start like crying uncontrollably, I'm sorry. You know, I'm just kidding. But no, sometimes this music really gets me, you know. And yeah, you know, it's like the vocals in this is just crazy. Last time I was like on the verge of, and I think Alexia like beat me to the punch. Okay, here we go with The Last Kingdom, the main theme. I love this. This is insanely so good. And sometimes when I watch movies like this reminds me a lot of the show Spartacus. The music was also very like there's just this chanting, but it was almost like this, you know, it sounds a little bit like desperate, you know, like almost someone pleading for help. Or I love the faces, her expressions. I love that, you know, tribalistic, you know, return, you know, how people were back in the day, you know, and these instruments, you know, these must be very antique, like thousands of years. And maybe, you know, I mean, they didn't have this delay and this amazing reverb, but maybe they were singing, you know, between the mountains and getting that echo, you know, that kind of sounds, and doing their, you know, whatever they would do, like their dances, or when people would get married, you know, at that time, or, you know, when they would mate, or, you know, maybe it did sound like this, you know. I mean, they didn't have the cello and they didn't have the ambience, but they had it. Maybe they were humming, you know. It's just fantastic. This reminds me, like, yeah, Spartacus, Gladiator, you know, 300. All these movies have amazing soundtracks that remind me of this. The Last Kingdom, I haven't seen that. But yeah, what's his name? The director, Ridley Scott. He does a lot. I think he directed that. And that's kind of weird that he didn't use, you know, Hans Zimmer, but maybe they did, you know, and she was singing it. But yeah, definitely very awesome. It makes my skin crawl, you know. It's very beautiful. Okay, let's continue.
See
Wow. There we go. First one. Wow, that was insane. So good. I love that almost animal like, you know, just like it must be such a high for her. I mean, I love that shot from above, you know, you see the stage and you see this audience just mesmerized, you know, like it must sound so good, this wall of sound, you know, her voice. And she, like I said, she must be incredibly like in the zone, you know, hearing this herself, like she's creating this amazing wall of sound, and it sounds so like, it does sound very epic and just old, and it just sounds beyond old. It doesn't sound old like our time. It sounds like from a different time, you know, on this planet, you know. Man, I love freaking Nordic mythology and also like a Greek mythology, and there's amazing video games nowadays where you can just immerse yourself in, you know, maybe this is a little bit off for you, but there's this game called God of War, and it's, oh my god, it's a trip. And you have to just type in God of War and watch a trailer. It's like watching a movie, but you play this person, you know, this god, and in this, but type in like God of War 2022 or something, and you will see, and it's just insane, and the music and just where you travel, and it's literally like being in that time. It's fantastic. All right, so another one of Eivor here, Gullspunnin. Man, this is so trippy. I love it. And I love that this is their channel. So please, you know, we're definitely gonna go see them if they come to Red Rocks. You know, definitely gonna support their, you know, support them, and yeah, you know, visit their website, watch the videos on there too, you know. And but that's the cool thing about this, you know, this channel. It's gonna give them exposure, and they have only 266,000 subscribers, you know, as of right now. So, you know, subscribe, go, and, you know, if you like it, support it, please. All right, here we go. Next one. There we go. Gullspunnin. There we go. I love how they use modern instruments to create this like music. Reminds me of Vangelis. Especially the synth. beautiful. So good. Wow. Oh my god, it's so good. I love the, like, what made the song so special, I think, were the choruses. I mean, those voices, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 people in the chorus, and then we have a pianist, then one person on the synth, and then the drummer. I love how he was in the zone, and then I love her instrument, you know, that just that drum. This is so beautiful, and I couldn't stop but think it's so sad, you know, that because this is such a and how I'm gonna say this without getting into trouble nowadays. I love that this is the culture, you know, this is a cultural thing, and what I find very sad today is that people get, you know, how do you say this? Vilified? No, vilifin. I can't even pronounce that word. it's, I see it more and more. I can see it. I see it in like, just in media, you know, and everything kind of gets turned around because it's villainous, I guess, you know, for some people, this culture, you know, and the problem is they want to kind of like change, like you saw, like, for example, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, right? Tolkien, and he was pretty much into this kind of stuff, you know, this culture, and this is obviously, you know, from the, you know, this is Nordic, and you know, and then all these things, you know, like, you know, elves and orcs and stuff like that, and dragons, and that's just part of the culture. And then, and what I don't like is that they want to change it, you know, they want to change it because they say, you know, everyone should be part of this. But, you know, unfortunately, that's not what happened. It was not everyone, you know. So that's what I find kind of like bad, because it should be what it is, you know. You know, it should be what it is. And I think they shouldn't change everything to please everyone, because that's not the truth. You're trying to change history into something that, you know, that did not happen. And I'm not going to get into specifics because I don't deal usually with that stuff, but I just see it more and more, and that's kind of sad, you know, and that people also get kind of looked down upon because of their race, you know, and stuff like that. That's always been a problem, I think, but, you know, what can I say? Yeah, it's just wonderful. It's very pure. I love this. It's very, very beautiful, you know, this display of culture, you know, and music, and very, very cool. Okay, so now Aurora. She has an amazing story that we talked about. If you haven't seen that video, I think we haven't released that. So we're going to release it before this releases, but Aurora, she is already now in her, I think, 27, 28. But when she started music, she was very, very young. And she spends, you know, she would spend her days like outside in the forest, you know. And even I saw a little interview. I don't know, it was recommended to me. And she was like, you know, for every record that I sell, I'm going to plant a tree. And then in 50 years, once I have, you know, a little forest, I love that. Let's sell. She was like, let's send all of our kids there. And obviously the interviewer was like, okay, that's kind of weird, you know, you want to send our kids to the forest? Because she was like, oh, we're going to leave them there. But she said it in a way, you know, like to be more pure and out of, you know, the cities and, you know, the, you know, all the chaos that we have nowadays, you know, with the internet and everybody's on their phones. So, but she pretty much wanted to say something like, yeah, let's just put them in nature, you know, so they can live there, you know, in peace. And the interviewer totally like didn't get that, you know. So very, very sweet, but he was very confused, and she was confused. He's like, why is he like not, you know, understanding me? But yeah, so she is just very talented. So Wardruna, I don't know, but Aurora, I do know. Helvegen is going to be a song. And Aurora, she pretty much, she learned how to play music by herself, self-taught. And there's this crazy story that she would play the piano, and she would only play it with one hand because she have to use the other hand to press the button so it would stay on, you know, the on button. You had to hold it down because it was broken. So that's kind of crazy to play an instrument and you have to hold down. It's like me trying to play the guitar and like having to hold the cable in, you know. So I can only use my left hand, and that's my technique. So that's crazy, you know. All right, so here we go with Wardruna. Wardruna and Aurora, Helvegen. Here we go. So they're coming to Red Rocks. That's amazing. Of course we're gonna go. Crazy how they're harmonizing, man. So he's Wardruna. Wow, he literally looks like a Viking, and I love that, you know, they also live by that kind of like that code, you know. I don't know how, you know, how much, I don't know if he goes, you know, to hunt and gather, you know, but there's people who are like, you know, into the whole like ancestry thing, you know, like they're like, you know, I want to live like my ancestors, you know, thousands of years ago, you know, I'm just going to go into the wild and stuff, you know. I love that. Really cool. And I am a big fan of this kind of, you know, stuff, you know. Some of it's fantasy, some of it's very like, I guess, I don't know how accurate they're portraying it. I mean, Vikings are very crazy folk, you know, not crazy, but they were just like, you know, they're very like the barbarians, you know, like the Germans. But like, I mean, back in those days, everybody was violent. Everybody was just like, okay, I have to fight to the death for my land and for my food and my water, and, you know, and we're gonna go to battle, you know, and we're gonna battle it out. So there's an amazing movie that I watched, I think called The Norsemen, with I think the only actor that I recognized was what's his name? How could I forget? He was in, wait a minute. He was in a movie with Denzel Washington, where they're both cops, and Denzel takes him on like this It's like it all happens on one day. Training day. What's his name? Can't remember right now, but well, he plays like the king or like the leader of one of those tribes, and they would like take these mushrooms and be like completely like high off their, they would be super like in a different dimension, and they would go to war and raid villages, and obviously very violent, but they're like completely like indestructible. No, there's like the scene where people are like throwing spears at, and he just catches it, like, and they're obviously, I don't know, like 6 foot and beyond, they're giants, very strong and I guess very intimidating, these people. So yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, I guess in that time, I mean, if you look at movies like Apocalypto, the Mayans, they were also like just like violent, or the Romans, what they did, like if you watch any movie that's set in Rome, or like Gladiator, it's like just like what were people like. Today we live in a time with a lot more peace is going on. Yes, you see more because there's social media, and you see pretty much everything that happens that has any sort of like criminal or violent. You see it on Facebook and YouTube, and it's crazy. But I think people are just not more like, you don't want to be in a confrontation. You don't want to kill the next person, that looks at your wife. Back in the day, if you would look at someone the wrong way, you'd lose your head pretty much. But I am fascinated, like what's not to. It's fascinating that that was the way people lived, even here, and just a couple of 100 years ago in the Wild West, people were like, okay, you looked at me kind of funny, okay, let's go outside and we're gonna, have a duel here real quick, so it's just fascinating how it has changed just in the last 100 years, okay, I've been going on again, but yeah, it's just fascinating. Beautiful music, just wonderful, and how they're dressed, and so like it's intoxicating, really. Wish they would have done a close-up when he was playing that horn. Oh, wow, that sounded amazing.
tur. Der fer, der frønder, der sjalvrit sama. Jeg vet ei, at aldri dør, domer om døden kan. Tusen takk for oss.
Wow, man, that was insane. I love it. That solo part, it's almost like he said, "Der Freunde," you know, their friends. There's just like a couple of words that I can make out, you know, because it does. Oh, so it says here, April 23rd, Red Rocks, Heilung. So yeah, definitely gonna see them, you know. Red Rocks, it's just a trip. We've seen Brit Floyd there. Oh my god, so wonderful. I was in tears, you know, and I know the music well, but they're playing it so accurately, and was just fantastic. What else have we seen at Red Rocks? Oh man, I don't remember, but a lot, you know. We've seen so many concerts here in Denver, it's insane. All right, so also please subscribe to Heilung, 818,000 subscribers. But yeah, I mean, still there's YouTubers, you know, that don't even use an intro. They have 4 million subscribers and stuff. So yeah, these guys need real support, you know, so let's give it to them. All right, here we go. Heilung Anoana live. Here we go. crazy. I mean, just the production value is insane. Like the lights they have, they're so like high, you know, like the whole stage and the setup is, and just like, you know, the way they're dressed, and it's like it takes a lot of like research and wow. And there's people like tribal people reacting to Heilung. Wow, that must be crazy to watch. Yeah. It's super cool. I love, you know, I just love this that it's so, I've seen something like this before, but it was more of the like Mayan and the Aztec, you know, times. Because when I was living in Mexico, I used to work for a company called Vallarta Adventures, and they would do like these tours. They would take people, you know, we would like go on this boat and then drive. Not drive, but yeah, we'll get to this house, and this used to be housed by the house of what's his name, John Huston. John Huston had this amazing house by I don't know if you're familiar with Puerto Vallarta, by Yelapa, and like before Yelapa, and then so you would only could get to this house by boat. Well, now they bought this house and they made like this amazing walkway, like with like these like there's like fire, you know, fire like this on a stick, you know. So it's like you get off the boat and it's like this walkway you have to walk, and there's like this music being played, tribal, and it's all like Aztec themed. And so you can walk through this house, and it's like this whole museum. It's amazing. If you want to do it, it's called Rhythms of the Night. You can look it up on Google right now if you want to. I'm sure there's a show even on YouTube. And so at the end of the night, so we'd be there for about 2 hours, and then after these 2 hours they could eat and drink, and then after the 2 hours they would put on a show like this. Very cool. Like the dancers, they're all like legit, you know, and the music they would play was just like this. It sounds very tribal, a lot of chanting and wonderful. So if you want to look it up, it's called Rhythms of the Night, and be sure to put Vallarta Adventures or Puerto Vallarta, and you might even be able to find it. So that's what this reminded me of. It's very accurate, like of that era, you know. I'm sure there's a lot of research that goes into this to make it as accurate as possible, you know, the language and all the instruments, and I love the makeup, and it's almost like Cirque du Soleil, you know, but a little bit more intense, I guess. Although Cirque du Soleil, you know, they know their stuff, you know, and wonderful. Thank you so much, Dave. This was definitely very different, but I love it, you know, to put this on the channel and for people to experience, and for me to experience, and I hope you like my commentary to it. You know, there's not much reaction. You can only, like, I don't know, I'm not looking at my face, you know. I'm just like, it's more like mesmerized. You're just like trapped, you know, like in, like, wow, you know, and then you can add something, I guess, whatever you think. But I hope you did enjoy. This was wonderful. I thank you so much, Dave. This was definitely completely different from what we usually do. I hope we can, you know, do some more, and I hope I can see them, at least, you know, this last band, since they're coming to Denver. Thank you so much, and thanks for everyone for being here, for watching, for commenting, for liking the video. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.